Gidvach. We're on the Mishnah on Samech Zayin Amid Aleph. We're on the Mishnah on Samech Zayin Amid Aleph. And tonight's stuff is Baruch Hashem. It's a it's a little technical, but I think we'll do okay. Says the Mishnah. Hamaykar is a chatzar. You sell a chatzar, stam, machar botim, included in the sale are houses, boirois, shichin, and ma'arois, all these various water-containing pits and different type of areas in the house. Avleis and metaltalin. Says Rashbam. Machar is a chatzar, stam machar botim apsuchim lechatzar uboirois, shichin, and ma'arois shabbatach habayis. You sell the bottom that are open to the chatzar, and including in the house these water cisterns. Now, if you sold the house, they're not part of the sale. The chatzar they are bottled the bar shichin marais. We saw earlier that what if you sell your house, included in the sale is not the bar shichin marais. That was the machlokes Rabbi Akiva and the chachamim whether you prepare to the bar or not. But everyone said you'd include the bar. Over here, if you go ahead and sell the chatzar, the bar is b'chal the chatzar. It's bottled to the chatzar, and therefore it would be b'chal the chatzar. That's the chiddush of the Mishnah. But you wouldn't be selling metaltalin, right? Even metaltalin that tashmishi abayis that are not kavua would not be part of the sale, right? However, bisman she'amalehu v'chol mashe b'seichai harikul mechurin. If you say at the time where he says it and everything in it, then everything would be included. Everything will be included except food. Ben kach u ben kach. Whether you said kol mashe b'teichai or you did not say kol mashe b'teichai, lo yimoicher lo yasem merchatz. You don't sell the merchatz; it's not b'chal the chatzar. Lo yasbeis habad, nor the olive press. Shebeseicha. That's not included in the chatzar. It's not normally there, and it's not included in the sale. That's what the Rashbam says. Rabbi Eliezer of the opinion. All you're selling what is the airspace of the chatzar. This is Rashi, Rashbam el avira aval botim uboires leimacha klal. V'domim moediyim lekalameima. They know the kakros. You can't tell from the amount of money given because there's no dinavina bakaka. So Rabbi Eliezer argues in the whole Mishnah. Our Mishnah it says that chatzar is an inclusive line that's including not only the houses but even the borish shichin and marois. Rabbi Eliezer would disagree. It only closed the avir. Only closed the what? The airspace. Rabbanan. You're selling the houses that are open to the chatzar, right? These are the houses that who bottom have penimim, and the bottom that are inert. Who base hachulu asais. The Rach explains this is a karka that is very soft, sandy, and you go ahead and you would make glass with this. You make like glass with this. It's considered a makam chashiv by itself. So if you sell the chatzar, included in the sale would be houses and this and a house that had this sand in it. The stores that are open to the chatzar, those are the ones that are servicing the chatzar, guys. The stores are open to the chatzar, they're servicing this chatzar, they be part of the sale. They're not servicing the chatzar, they're serving the outside. They would not be part of the sale. So again, the store, depending upon where it's what the job of the store was. If it was open to the chatzar and it would go ahead and serve the needs of the chatzar, then it's part of the sale. If conversely, if it's open to the outside and serving the needs of the Rishus Harabim or the Mavi, wherever it was, then not. Continues the Gemara. What about Psucha L'kan L'kan? It's open to both places. Let's use the Bach Skersa and Nimcharasima, then it would be sold with it. Only the aver of the chatzar. Again, a fancy term, but again, the Brisa elaborating on the Mishnah, but consistent with the Shita of Rabbi Eliezer, that you'd only get what? You'd only get the airspace. Amamar, Pesuchas L'kan L'kan Nimcharas Ima. If it's open to the chatzar and to the outside, it's sold with the chatzar. But Tani Reb Chia Einim Charas Ima, it's not. So how do you reconcile that? Lekasha, Hod the Roiv Tashmishayu Legav. When most of the tashmish is to the inside, then it's part of the sale. Hod the Roiv Tashmishayu Lebar. Most of the tashmish is what is outside, then it's not part of the sale. Let's see Rashbam on that. Says the Rashbam, right? Vatani Reb Chia, Hod Reb Chia, the Roiv Tashmishayu Levar. Most of the tashmish is out the outside. What does that mean? Pesach shel tzad chutz pesuach yoser l'shtamish b'nei Pesach pnimi. The Pesach that's towards the outside is used more than the Pesachs to the inside. So again, you go after the shtamshus of the store. So if it's more to the outside, it's going to be used more to the outside. It's open both ways, but it's easier accessible to the outside, then it's not part of the sale. If it's easier accessible to the inside, then it's part of the sale. That would go ahead and answer up the kasha from Reb Chia. Reb Eliezer of the opinion, all you're selling is what? Is the airspace. Now, we're going to have different shyness, and based upon this shyness, we're going to have machlokes. Amar Rava, change the gesser to Rava. Ida Amalei di Rasa. If he says, I'm selling you di Rasa, then the Kuli Amalei Pligi, the Bate Mashma. Even Rebbe Eliezer will be Mashma that you're selling what? You're selling a house, because di Rasa is the Lashon of Dira. So you didn't use the Lashon of Chatzar, you used in the sale the Lashon of Dirasa. Rebbe Eliezer would be moida when you use the Lashon of Dirasa that you mean a house. Ki pligi, the Amalei Darta, that you said the Lashon of what? Of Darta. You said the Darta, that's where the Machloikas is. Masavar Tarbitza Mashma, Masavar that what? It's Tarbitza, it means an open space, like a garden, an open space, that's Rebbe Eliezer. Umasav and the Tanakam is Mashma Bate Mashma, that Darta is still the Lashon of Dira, and therefore there's no difference. Dirasa and Darta will be included in the sale of the houses. What about Chatzar according to this Lashon, guys? No. According to this Lashon, the Tanakam would be Moida Chatzar, you only get the ear. Again, Dirasa, everyone's saying what? It's the house. Darta is the Machloikis. Chatzir, there's no machlokes according to this lashon. Even the Chachamim, the Tanakama would be moida that chatzir you'd only get the avir, you only get the airspace. Guys, you hear? Darta di rasa. Chatzir, there's no machlokes. Chatzir, everyone be moida. According to this lashon, you'd only get the airspace. Ikadi Ami, there are others that say Amarava. Here's the lashon of the machlokes. Ida Amalei Darta, the Kuli Amalei Pligi the Bati. In this lashon, Darta is the houses. Even Rebbe Eliezer will be moida. Ki pligi di amalei chatzar. When do they argue? When they say chatzar. Masav chatzar avira mashma. Rebbe Eliezer says chatzar is mashma avira. Umasav ki chatzar mishkin. It's like the chatzar a mishkin, and the chatzar mishkin was what a makom of dira. There were chambers there, and the chatzar people stayed there, and therefore it's according to the Tanakama. Okay, so nafkamina, tremendous nafkamina. According to the first lashon, the machlokes is by darta. According to the second lashon, everyone's moida darta is what is sale. According to the first lashon, everyone's moida by chatzar, that it's avir. According to the second lashon, they're arguing by chatzar, and that's the lashon of our Mishnah that the Tanakam is mashma chatzar includes everything, and Rabbi Eliezer says that no, it's only the avir. So it's mashma Mishnah goes according to the ikadi amri, because according to the first lashon, the chacham would be moida chatzar, you only get airspace. That's not what it says in our Mishnah, and our Mishnah says the chatzar you get the houses also. So it's mashma want that according to the second lashon. The Amar Rav Nachman, machalei cholsis umitzula. If you sell him a place of sand or a place of mitzula is a riverbank. Now it's the Rashbam says the riverbank they would go ahead and mine for silver and gold. You know they have the water. They the old 49ers, Yimach Shemam, right? They would go ahead and mine for gold. So there are two different ishtamshas over here. The chuls is the sand is used for what? Is used for making glass, and the other place is used for mining gold. So if you gave money for both, hichzik bechulsis. If you made a chazaka, a kinyan chazaka, this is not the 3 years. This is the kinyan of kesef shtar chazaka. Like kana mitzula, you're not kind of the mitzula. Conversely, hiksa mitzula like kana tchulsis. Either way, you're not kind because it's two different ishtamshus. Ini, is it really so that it's not kaina? If you sell 10, this is the third time we've had this. If you sold esesades besa medinais kivan shehichsip achman kana kulam, So why is it not what kind over here? Therefore, if you're Mexican chulsis or you're not kind of the mitzula, and for the Gemara, hasamud desan the arahu. Over there, when you're selling land, stam land is for zuriya for the purpose of planting. It's considered one bank of land. But right, tashmishahu, and it's all used for the same thing for the purpose of agriculture. Aval hacha over here, where it's a mitzula and a chulsis, it's two separate ishtamshus. Since it's two separate ishtamshus, one chazaka doesn't help for both. So when you give money for what? For 10 different lands, and you're Mexican one, since it's all the same ishtamshus, you're kind of one, you're kind of all of them, but kinyan chazaka. Mashain kain, if it's separate ishtamshus, and in this case, one is for chulsis and one is what? If it's a mitzula, it's not going to be kind of. That's the first lashon. Ikadiyami amid beis, others say, Amar Rabba, Amar Rav Nachman, Hichzik b'chulsis. If you're maxing the chulsis, kind of mitzula. You would be kind of the mitzula. You would be kind of the mitzula. The exact opposite of what? Of the Amid Aleph. It says in Pshita, l'chayra, now you have a raya. The 10 lands is a raya now, not a kasha. The Ha'ama Shmuel Machal Yesa Sadais Mahu Hasam Hu Desadna the. So in other words, l'chayra, why do you keep what Rava? What's the chiddush telling me that if you sell a person a mitzula, you're Mexican and a chulsis, you're Mexican one, you're kind of the other. We know that already. If you have 10 lands, you buy the 10 lands, you're Mexican one, you kind all of them. So the Gemara says no. Over there, you think who the sadn arachadu? You think it's all for one ishtamshus for zriya. So you would think since it's with different ishtamshus, you would not be kaina. Kemashmalan, you are kaina, and that's the halacha. The halacha is like the ikadiyami fellas, that even though it's two separate ishtamshus, one for making glass and one for gold and silver, you would be kaina. You would be kaina despite the fact it's two separate ishtamshus. Okay, you would be kaina. Now, this next Mishnah, fellas, is very, very hard to understand. It's hard to understand just based upon mitzias. Now, first of all, if we're going ahead and we're making olive oil, let's go to the Rashbam, down where it says Dibar Maslo Rechaim Hatachtoina. If you go where it says Mishnah, you see not the Mishnah on the side, the Mishnah on the bottom. Go up 2 lines. It says Rechaim Hatachtoina in the Rashbam. You have it. Kavuahi. This Rechaim is set in one place. V'toichim zaysim, and you would use it to grind zaysim. So here's the process, fellas. Shebitchila initially mifarkin oisan b'maparkos. They would go ahead before they put the olives in the press. They would crush it in a mortar. V'achakach toichnin berechayim, and afterwards the olives would be ground in a mill. V'achakach, and only after the pounding and the grinding in a mill, only after that, they be squeezed in a Beis Habad. Okay, so it seems to be the process is a 3-way process. First, pounded in a mortar. Second, ground in a grill or a mill, right? And then go ahead and put it in a press. And now the Mishnah is going to describe if you sell a Beis Habad, what's included and what's not. The rule of thumb is if it's something that's koiveya, that's set, that's never moved, then you're koina. If it's something that's movable, you're not koina. That's consistent with what all the Mishnayos have been doing until now. So I thank you to Gedalia Zlotowitz, who always gives me permission. So here you have it. Here's a press. Now, this bottom thing over here is called the vat. It's called the talafcha. It's the vat. This thing is part of the sale. You never move this. This beam over here and this beam over here, they're these are called the basulos. They never moved. This, and this are movable. And we'll see their names. The screw and the board that's here, and the boards that are on top of the olives, these are all movable, and these are not part of the sale. So part of the sale we have this, and this, I think this also, because this is, but this and this will be movable, and therefore it's not part of the sale. So I'll keep this open, and we'll refer to it as we go through the Mishnah. That's the vat, fellas. Ves hamamel is the crusher. The mamel is not part of this. That's part of the process of crushing the beforehand, where you pound it. Ves habasulois is part of it, right? That's part of the sale, is this. That's part of the sale. I guess the mamel is the crusher. I guess that must be, I don't know. Again, I'm not sure. The boards are not an avirim, not galgal, nor the screw, koira, and the beam. Those are not part of the sale. And then they're all sold. When you sell, all you get, you would get the koira, as we're going to see. This is the ikar beis habad, is the koira, the beam, you would get that. Yam, what's a yam? Is talafcha. Talafcha is what? Is the vat. That's over here. Ama mamel, what's a mamel? Ama Rav Abba bar mamel, that's mafrachta. That's a crusher. That seems to be part of the sale. Besulois am Rabbi Yochanan, unesoy shel eres shamamidim behemes hakoira. These are the beams, the side beams, that they go ahead and they support the koira. The koira, that's the koira. They're supporting that, the koira. And these will be part of the sale. Kavshe, the boards on the bottom. The galgal chumasa. What am I reading? Avirim is kavshe. That's the boards on the olives, guys. That's not part of the sale. That's that. Galgal is sumrata. That's the screw. Koira is the koira. That's the koira. This. You did sell the boards are part of the sale. And it's a little shver. We said that we just said the boards are not part of the sale. Again, maybe these boards. This is part of the sale. That's like the mamel. And the lower rechayim. Since the lower rechayim is set in place, it's kavua, it's part of the sale. If it's going to be the upper part of, again, in the process of making it, we said there's three things. So the rechayim, the mill that you're using, only the bottom part is kaveya. The top part is not. So therefore, only included in the sale would be the bottom part. That's the point. On the bottom part. But not the upper one. And they said you're selling it and everything that's in it. Everything is part of the sale. Whether you said not the boards. These are different sakim or sackcloth. Leather. These are things to carry the olives. They're not part of the sale. The koira is part of the sale. We don't call it beis habad, not part of the sale. Okay, again, you get the idea. If it's something that's kaveya, yes, not kaveya, not. You're selling what? A merchatz, a bathhouse. There were 3 rooms in the bathhouse. The outer room where you entered, the middle room where you undressed, and the inner room, the inner room where you had boards, and under the boards there were stones that were heated up and water, and that's what we would call a schwitz. Okay, so now, you're not the boards that you would use to cover the heat or to stop you from getting dirty, right, are not part of the sale because they're metaltalin. Sapolim is what? Is a basin. There's a girsa safsolim, which is a seat, a stool, some type of seat. That's also not part of the sale. That's habalonios. I have another girsa vilonis. It's either, fellas, a viloin would be the curtain that separates the rooms, or it would be towels. That's all not part of the sale. However, the water source, if you had a pool of water, that's not part of it. Why? Because even though it services the bathhouse, it could service you for other things as well. Nor would, let's say you had a wood to go ahead and heat up the water for the bathhouse. So good, it's used for the bathhouse, but it's also used for other things as well. It's also used for heating up other things. Therefore, since it's used for other things and it's a shtamshus, it's not limited to the bathhouse, it wouldn't be part of the sale. The house where you keep the boards in, that's part of the sale, but not the boards themselves. The space how you come in. Rashbam brings basically you come in is they would have some type of scarf or something that they wear that the heat shouldn't get to them. So some type of head covering. So they would keep it in that house. That's part of the sale. There's space hasapolim and where they kept the basins. There's space havilanis where they kept the towels or the curtains. Avaloi es hanesarim atzman. The nesarim themselves are not part of the sale. Lo yukamim atzman, nor the yukamim part of the sale. Lo sapolim atzman. So the scarves, the boards, the basins are not part of the sale. Lo vilois atzman, nor are the vilois. Again, is going to be the curtains or the towels. Not the ponds that go ahead and provide water. You think in the Mesachama where there's not a lot of water, so maybe it's bottled to the merchatz. It's not. Where there's a lot of water, certainly not. Not that place where you go ahead and store eitzim. The mamalai base machetz chol tashmishav ani meichlecha kulam mechur. They're all part of the sale. A guy said to his friend, base spad the kol tashmishav ani meichlecha. I'm selling you base spad in all its tashmish. Avi hanu chana asa abroi. Avi shot chebei shumshi. There was a store outside that, by and large, they would go ahead and sell wine and bread. But what happened was they had shumshmin over there. They were going to go ahead and they were going to crush the shumshimim to get sesame oil. Shumshimim is sesame, right? You're going to get sesame oil from there. So if you look at Rashbam, Shatchu b'shumshim liavshan. They went ahead and they put shumshim there to dry out. Kedei lasses behen shemen bebeis habad. So they were going to use the wine, the olive press. Kedenan b'shemen shumshim aval ikat hashmishon limcha pas v'yayinu. The main part of the store was not to go ahead and be used by the olive press. The main part of the store was to be what? To provide bread and wine, basic items. So the question was it part of the sale or not? That's the question. Was the store part of the sale or not? So the Shaila came in front of us, the Rabbi Yosef. The Shaila came in front of Yosef. Tanina, you learned it. So l'chayre, since this Rabbi Yosef wants the paskin that this is what part of the sale. And Rabbi Chia said they're not part of the sale. Ella Rav Ashi says Rav Ashi Chazina. Let's see. If he says the base spad and all of its usage, and these are its what boundaries, then kana. So again, you need two things over here. You'd have to say it. In other words, in this case, if the shumshim and the chanus was part of the boundaries that you delineated, it would be part of the sale. Of course, you had tash mishmat for the shumshimim. So Amar Rav Ashi Chazinan Amale Beis Habad v'chol tashmishim. He says Beis Habad and all its uses. The olim mitzarana, and these are its boundaries. Kana v'iloi loy kana. It's a long Rashbam over here. Let's do a little bit of it. Ein kul mechurin. Rabbi Chia said that's not part of the sale. Shari ein miyuchedes lebeis habad. It's not part of the sale because it's not. It's used for passing yayin. It's not used for the beis habad. Hachi kosa b'peirish Rabbeinu Chananel. V'chein ikar. Rav Ashi chazinon. I amalei beis bad v'chol tashmishin. If he says beis bad and all of its tashmish, v'olim mitzarunui, and these are the boundaries. V'hani b'chlal hanu mitzranig, and these, meaning in this case, this store was part of the boundaries. It fell into the boundary. Kana. And that's what kana lahu, he would be kana. V'ilai like kana. So that's basically the way we learned. That seems to be the main gersa. And then he goes and brings the gersa that he doesn't hold. He holds not the ikka. Basically, guys, the chazara of this whole parak, this whole Indian is, it's very, very specific. If you just say I'm selling you something stam without delineating anything, you're going to get anything that's kaiveya, anything that what is set. If you go, but even if the metaltalin is used for the shtamshus, right? You're not going to get it. So if you say a beis habad, you're only going to get the things that are kaveya, not kaveya. If you say kol ma shebesaychai, then you get even the things that are. You get the boards, you get the screws and that. But until you say that, not. So, and the next mission, the same thing, the Beis HaMerchatz, the same thing. We had this added thing, according to Rav Ashi, if you're in the jurisdiction of here, and it's used partially, not all the time. If it's used just specifically for that, that would be part of the sale. If it's used only sometimes part of it, like this case in the Shumshimin, then if he said, and I'm selling you this, and he added the words, and anything that's in this jurisdiction, then those words, anything that's in just jurisdiction, would include something that is not limited to a shnamshus of that particular item that you're selling. Okay, Bez Hashem, share will be tomorrow morning at 9:30. Share to be tomorrow morning at 9:30.